overnight and what you can expect for your Friday and your weekend, because we know you've got weekend plans. You want to know how the weather's going to be. Let us know tonight where you are watching Facebook Live, and we will give you a shout out over the next 15 minutes. Our big story tonight at 11 o'clock, we're going to be talking about COVID hospitalizations. We've got several issues that we want to get in tonight. We've got an ICU nurse that has been talking about really the face of COVID and how how difficult it has been for the healthcare professionals taking care of all of these COVID patients. That's still to come. Emily Longnecker will join us. We're going to talk about how many Hoosiers are in the hospital right now. And we're also going to take a look at 11 o'clock at the link between the vaccine and the number of people who are in the hospital. Is there a link? Where are the numbers? All to come tonight on our 11 o'clock show. But let's begin our evening with Sean and talk about what's been a pretty good evening tonight.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a 5-minute space station flyover.
Did you catch it?
I did not.
Yeah, okay.
But I let people know when I was back there and, in my little cubby, and
right,
next thing I know, I'm
right.
like, oh man, I missed it. So
but you've seen him a couple of times.
I heard it was a nice flyover here. This morning, parts of southern Indiana, southeastern Indiana, it took a little while to get into sunshine.
Right.
There were some areas of fog, there were some low clouds, and I think that's going to be around for the morning commute.
All right.
So you might want to get up a little earlier than normal. Check in with Chuck Lofton to kind of see which areas have the most dense fog. Where it does form should shed away by noontime, and then we salvage another nice afternoon. Now, it will be humid. Okay, we're going to be forecasting highs in the mid-80s. Looks real nice, very similar to what we're having this evening for Operation Football. And we've got big games this weekend here, and want you to know that it is going to be a warm weekend. Highs Saturday and Sunday, mid and upper 80s. So we've got Cincinnati taking on IU in Bloomington.
That'll be a good game in Bloomington.
On Channel 13 at 2:30.
Yep.
Purdue, Notre Dame.
That's going to be a really good one,
too. Should be fun. Yeah. So both of those games are going to be warm here for September standards. Now, I want to show you what's going to be happening next week. All signs kind of hinting that we might have a pretty decent shot of much cooler air a week from now here. So it could change. It's still 7 days out, but the modeling is suggesting that we could have a batch of possibly lows in the 40s, highs 65 to near 70.
So the air conditioner will go off at your house next week.
After we get this front, absolutely. Yes. And those windows will be open.
Get the fresh air in.
The kids will they'll layer up in the house. So we'll talk specifics on the timeline there. Coming up at 11 o'clock.
All right, let's say hi to some of our Facebook friends, several hundred of them with us tonight. R. Andrew Ball from Greensburg. Ralph saying, go Notre Dame. Wally from Brownsburg tonight. Jacqueline saying, hi from Metamora, Indiana. We've got Scott in saying, hey, y'all, great day. Thanks, Scotty from Orleans. We've got Glenn in tonight saying hello. We've got Terry from Marion. Tanya from Frankfurt. Tanya, good to have you back. Ralph's down in Alabama watching tonight. Jeanette from Frankfurt. Janice from Oklahoma City. We've got Donna from Lebanon tonight. And Fulton saying, hey, hello, Scott Swan. Yesterday was me and my girlfriend Caitlin's 6-year anniversary.
Awesome.
Happy anniversary to you, my friend.
Heck yeah.
And Jackie from McCordsville. So we've got all sorts of Facebook friends. Great to have all of you with us tonight. We'll get back with Sean coming up in a moment, talk about the forecast a little bit more in depth. Let's go ahead and turn our attention now to the big story that we're going to be bringing you tonight on 13 News at 11. We're going to look at hospitalizations across the state of Indiana. Where are the numbers? How are we trending? How many ICU beds currently are being taken over by Hoosiers who are fighting COVID? And where do these numbers lead us? What do they tell us about the vaccine? And are there links between the number of Hoosiers who are vaccinated and the number of Hoosiers who are in the hospital? But we want to begin tonight with our Emily Longnecker, who joins us with a very emotional story from a healthcare worker who has put together a video that a lot of people are commenting about. Emily, tell us about your story.
Yeah, Scott, this was an ICU nurse from Community North, Jennifer Tignatella, and she actually put out a post, and it was actually it was a still picture of her, but a picture worth 1,000 words. The look in her eyes, even before you read the post, you're looking at a woman that's, clearly exhausted, right? So she works in the ICU unit, and she writes, "This is exhaustion. This is on the verge of tears. COVID casualties are getting younger and younger." So we talked to her tonight about that post, which has been, gotten thousands and thousands of reactions, thousands of comments. She posted it on her LinkedIn and Facebook, and it's getting a lot of reaction. Much of it, thanking her for her work, but then a lot of folks, she says that she was disappointed to see, accusing her of saying that she had a pro-vaccine agenda. So at this point, she says, she does encourage people to get the vaccine because, she's saying that, the studies are bearing out, the numbers are showing that, getting the vaccine protects you to some extent from ending up in the ICU where she is going to see you. And she talked about the patients that are just younger and younger, 30s, 40s, otherwise healthy, and they're ending up on ventilators. And she's seeing, she said she's seen so many folks pass away in the past 18 months from COVID. She's just absolutely lost count. So it was just a real eye opener, a day in the life into what she goes through, what some of her colleagues go through there in the ICU.
Emily, we really look forward to seeing your story. I think it's important for our viewers to see how their decisions are impacting healthcare workers. And,
Sure.
we've reported here on the news almost every day that most of the people who end up hospitalized in the ICU unit and who die are people who are unvaccinated. And those, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. One thing that hit me is she said, people are tired of hearing about it, right? She said, 18 months ago, we were the healthcare heroes, and now people are tired of hearing us say, this is not letting up. We're exhausted, right. and we're afraid, and there's not enough beds, and we're having to, we're scared about having to make tough choices, and we come in every day and find out that we only have maybe 10 beds empty in the hospital because everyone else has COVID.
Right.
So.
It's an important story, and I'm so grateful that you were able to talk to this ICU nurse tonight, and we'll see her interview with Emily Longnecker tonight on 13 News at 11. Thanks so much, Em. Great talking to you.
Great talking to you, Stein.
All right, there's Emily Longnecker. She'll be part of our big story. One of the other things that we wanted to bring you here on Facebook Live tonight was the beginning of Gen Con Indy. Of course, last year it was all virtual. This is the big gaming convention that comes to downtown Indianapolis, fills up the convention center, and it is back. It is back for a 4-day run, and our Gina Glaros got a chance to go inside today and give you a sneak peek.
Gen Con is the largest and longest running tabletop gaming convention in North America. And after the pandemic hit pause last year, gamers from around the world are back at the Indiana Convention Center to play and get an eyeful. Gen Con Indy includes more than 350 publishers and vendors and more than 6,000 games, workshops, and fan favorites like the costume contest and film festival.
Every game you can ever think of, in every variation, and it's a blast. I've been doing it for many years. It's whatever you want to do. If you want to be an elf magic user, you can do it. If you want to be a scientist, you can do it. So it's everything in between. It's pure escapism.
Gen Con started in Wisconsin 53 years ago. It's grown ever since, but due to the pandemic, this year will be capped at 30,000 visitors. And although costume masks aren't uncommon, wearing a mask is mandatory regardless of vaccine status. And if you'd like to meet this guy in person, Gen Con runs through Sunday. You can buy your badges ahead of time or here at the convention center.
That's Gina Glaros, one of our new reporters, getting the Gen Con assignment today, which is always fun. Yeah. It's always fun just to drive around downtown during Gen Con and see all these folks who are in from out of town wearing the costumes.
I remember one of the first years we moved back here when we only had Sophia at the time, and I remember her. I forgot it was Gen Con weekend. She goes, what are those over there? You know, in his costumes. So it was good stuff.
Yeah, we're glad they're
Oh,
here.
man,
and
please.
they're spending their money in downtown
Absolutely,
Indianapolis.
man.
I know
It's great.
the
We love it.
restaurants and hotels
Yeah.
happy to have them here. All right, so what's our wake-up weather
Yeah,
tomorrow?
we'll have some fog around in the morning, and then humid heat. Humid
Yeah.
heat for a little while.
right.
We'll see how things play out. Whether or not we're going to be lighting them bonfires up next week, possibly. I'm getting a little excited here,
Yeah.
but you know, things can change. Things can change.
Yeah.
It's still a week out, but promising if you're a fan of autumn. Like I may have to put the area on a pumpkin spice
Oh,
watch.
dude, I thought you you went there with the pumpkin spice.
I may have to put the Ohio Valley on a pumpkin spice watch for next week.
I was wondering if the temps were going to dip low enough for you to
I'm not.
eat,
I
eat or
won't,
drink anything
I won't do
pumpkin
pumpkin spice, but I know a lot of folks like it. So
There you go.
I think we know where I stand. on that.
Yeah, you made that quite clear, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook Live. Sean and I will be back with you tonight on 13 News at 11. Have a great night.